Welcome to Knights of Roleplay, an adventuring podcast. This is an actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast. Royalty-free music provided by Kevin MacLeod, Michael Gelfie Studios, Plate Mill Games, and Tabletop Audio. And now, to adventure. Hello listeners, thank you for joining us for this episode of Knights of Roleplay. I'm DM Chris. We are back in our Dragonbirth campaign. To give a quick recap of events so far, the party all have the same Dragonclaw birthmark, which they share with a young clairvoyant named Ophelia. Everyone with a Dragonclaw birthmark has been having the same visions of teeth, claws, and wings. Ophelia has had additional visions that have included information she believes can be used to end the rule of the corrupt Dragonborn Council. Allowing Ophelia's visions to guide them, the party first recovered a platinum egg from a structure in the Ice and White province. Then they retrieved a platinum tablet from a similar structure under a ruined temple in Green province. Ophelia's most recent vision indicated the party needs a drop of blood from a powerful dragon. She also has a sense that the egg, the tablet, and the drop of blood need to be brought to a specific location, but she has not had a clear vision of the location. Let's see. You also have reason to believe that the Red Dragonborn Council member Zathul has a clairvoyant of his own and is trying to stop you from destroying the Dragonborn Council. Aqua intends to try and learn the language of the Colossi from the Platinum Tablet. Our group of adventurers is made up of Erebus, a Dragonborn fighter, Andy, a Halfling Bard Warlock, Aqua, a Shardling Rogue, and Z, a Rootfolk Monk. You are standing in the woods just outside the capital city of Shikar with Ophelia and her father Barton. So, how would you like to proceed?
Oh, now we're expecting me to start this every time.
Every time.
Everybody just kind of looks at me and says, well, John, go ahead.
John.
I don't know if I looked at you or not, but I'll look at you right
You
now.
did.
So if we need a drop of dragon blood, are we supposed to fight a dragon?
Well, I'm hoping we can avoid that. Fighting dragons is generally
Here
not
for
conducive to
it,
long-term
but
health.
we're probably going to die later. I'm here for it.
If I interpolate the data that I've possessed from us so far and our fighting abilities, I think that's probably a bad idea.
Well, what about... I mean, you're a blue Dragonborn, and didn't... my mentor, whose name I'm spacing because we haven't played this in a long time.
Dargan.
Dargan, yeah.
He's
thanks.
Dargan? He's not a Dargan.
Dargan
He's a Dargan.
mentioned that one of the council members, I think the blue one, was a little more sympathetic to the plight of the people.
Sokor.
Sokor. Okay, so thank you. As I'm like flipping.
I'm just dropping names in for you.
I mean, all well and good, but it's not like we can. It's not like we can just take Sokor's blood.
Well, he's a dragonborn. He's not even the dragon.
Right.
So,
but if we need a drop of dragon blood, not dragonborn
right,
blood, otherwise
but
we have dragonborn. Right?
perhaps the council members who are assigned to the various dragons are a path to get there.
I was under the understanding that most dragons haven't been seen for eons.
I mean, people see them flying over, right?
Ophelia says, I don't believe you can get the dragon's blood from a dragonborn. You have to get it from an actual dragon.
That's what I figured.
Right.
So-
but what's the best way to get contact with a dragon that isn't fighting with one?
Well, we're going to
Assuming
have
we
to
can
see if
even find one.
Figure one out. So, well, we're definitely going to need a lot more information on the dragons themselves, then, aren't we?
Sure.
I mean, is there rivalry between the dragons? I mean, we've already kind of pissed off the red ones.
I mean, well, where do we want to do that research?
We're
'Cause-
also assuming that the dragons have anything to do with the Dragonborn Council itself. Maybe the dragons themselves are completely indifferent, and the Dragonborn Council is just off doing their own thing, and they won't care if we take them down.
Perhaps we just need to find them in the wild somehow.
Hey, would it hurt to talk to the Dragonborn Council? To the one
Probably.
person?
In Shikar, for sure it would.
I mean, they're corrupt and there's potential of risk if you want to talk to them.
I mean, if these visions
I'm not saying
are
don't.
I mean, if these visions are supposedly going to take down the Dragonborn Council, you're probably going to find it difficult to find somebody on the Dragonborn Council willing to be taken down.
I mean,
think.
well, the blue guy was the one that Dargan said was a little more sympathetic. So I don't know if it's
Sure, a
open
little-
to change, right?
Sure, that
Yeah.
just means he's less oppressive than the others.
I mean, I don't know if we're looking to destroy and overthrow a whole form of government so much as try to fix it, right?
Perhaps we could appeal to the Dragon Council's greed and say that we're going after the dragon to find them.
Ophelia turns to Z and says, "What did you say about your mentor? Does he have information about the dragons?"
Dargan is the green dragonborn, and he knew a little bit about the council members. And I don't. Did he also tell us the names of the dragons too? I think he did. I have the notes somewhere. Yes, the white. Let's see, blue member Sokor, white Garrix, black Drex, green Morphos. And at some point, you also gave us the names of the
Blue dragons,
dragons.
purple
That
ones.
was common knowledge, right? Like the different colored dragons, I thought, or
Not necessarily.
oh, okay.
I mean, the
Yeah.
members of the Dragonborn Council would know the names of the dragons themselves. Your mentor might know the names of the dragons themselves.
So Z tells Ophelia, so I have 3 mentors. Dargan's the one that we ran into the other day. They're all older and have been associated with the monastery here in Shakar for a while, so they're probably a little better studied than me, avoiding all my books during my time there. So they all
understand.
have some knowledge that potentially we could benefit from, maybe. But I mean, not to be obvious, but we kind of picked a fight with the city guard. So I'm not sure how we do this because we're not exactly a settled group of people. How well can we disguise a tree and a sparkly crystal and a blue dragonborn?
Z is using the word we are not subtle. We.
Well, the shoe fits, but
Kate, as you're talking with
You
Ophelia,
wear shoes.
as you're directing your attention to Ophelia, your passive perception of 14 happens to pick up on the fact that she's wearing, like you see beneath her clothes, some sort of a necklace that looks very, very well made, very like it's worth a lot of money.
Okay.
And based on like her general appearance and her father and the business they own, you would not think that she would be in possession of such a valuable item.
yeah.
And it seems like you haven't noticed it before. It seems like she's not displaying it, but you happen to notice it with your perception.
Sorry, for a half second I thought you said that Z's perception allowed her to see beneath Ophelia's clothes. So that's all.
Wow.
Kind of.
X-ray vision. Oh, yeah.
So Z is talking, and then all of a sudden she just like stretches out a limb and goes, "Ooh, shiny! Can I see?" And
She recoils back and puts her hand on her chest, like very reflexively.
sorry, I didn't mean
What
to
are
offend
you doing, Z?
I hadn't seen something like that on you before. What is that? What's that necklace hiding under your clothes?
She kind of pauses for a second, like she's not sure what to say. And her father, Barton, he says, what is it called? Before I forget. Okay. Barton says, that is an amulet of proof against detection and location
Oh,
Fancy.
that is fancy.
to try to keep
Could probably use that ourselves.
prying eyes off of my daughter.
Has she been using it for a while now? Is this why no one's come looking for you at the shop?
It makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, she has.
All right. Well, where'd you get it?
We could use one.
Or a few.
Or a few.
They seem to keep finding us wherever we go. I don't know what
Barton
they're
says
doing.
it was not come by easily, and I could not just get another one.
Darn.
I would rather not go into the details, but it was a once in a lifetime acquisition, and my daughter is the most important thing in me in the world, so I gave it to her.
Okay.
Well, it makes
Well,
sense.
yeah, we can't
So
begrudge that.
Yeah. So back to figuring out what's going on with the how to get our drop of blood and pound of flesh.
Well, why are you asking about my mentors?
You said that he was a dragonborn, and I thought maybe he might know about the dragons.
It's possible. I don't know if we can get him to come outside the city so that we don't have to try to hide going into the city unless you guys want to go and try to find him. I can tell you the bar he was at.
Well, that
usually.
shouldn't be too difficult.
I mean, you guys have your cloaks, right? You guys have black
I mean, we
cloaks
do
to try to
have
disguise
cloaks.
yourselves.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean, I've still got my disguise kit. I mean, I could very easily go in, pass a message, come back out. I mean, that's kind of what I do.
You know, however easily you can hide a tree using cloaks.
right.
How does one hide a walking tree through the city?
Could he disguise me? Well, and you don't need a Holocaust cloak.
But that's not on our list of assets.
Could you disguise us? I mean, even if we just change color, right? I'm not the only root folk, but I mean, our shiny crystal friend here is probably the one who's harder to hide and disguise. Because you're sparkly.
I'm a master of disguise.
Ophelia says,
Oh.
I'm a rogue.
Okay.
is there a place that your mentor, the dragon one, spends a lot of their time?
Yeah, we were at the... I'll look it up, unless we rolled for the bar name. It's been too long, I should have gone
Do
through
I
my
have that on my
notes.
sheet here?
I
I do
have-
have some stuff.
Hang on, I probably have.
Come on, you two, get your sheet together.
Well, you're floating stone.
It's almost as if nobody else took notes.
I know.
Is it the chicken McNugget?
Don't stop.
Is the
calling me
Windy
out,
Chicken Tavern.
Oh, okay. I knew chicken was in there somewhere.
It's always chicken.
yeah. Windy
The
chicken.
Windy,
The Windy
Chicken.
It's like the campaign knows I'm in it.
Yeah. So, he was at the Windy Chicken Tavern. That's usually one of our haunts for myself and him. And then there are two others who could be with him, which I thought I wrote that down too. Did I? Didn't I? I sent you a message with it. I'm pretty sure.
What is it, Kate?
The name of my other two mentors. There were three of them. Oh, it's in my notes. That's right. Now I remember. Haha.
It is in the notes on your character.
D&D Beyond.
Yes.
All right. Sage mentors. Dargon is the Dragonborn monk. Talos is a gargoyle. And Glamdring is a hill dwarf. And they're all monks with the monastery, just older,
Sure.
wiser, but just as drunk as me.
All right, so how would you all like to proceed?
Phenomenal. I'm so excited to meet these
Well, I
dragons.
mean, you were asking, Ophelia, were you going to go and try and find him with your ability to not be detected? Or, I mean, we can still try to disguise if it's too risky.
But Barton
Yeah.
discourages that idea.
Okay, well, we can try to get in disguise and go find one or more of them and see what we can learn.
As a charlatan, I do have a false identity, I can assume.
Yeah.
That's true.
Nice.
So we basically have two directions we can go. We can either try to go inside the city, find your mentor, and go the councilman route, or we can go see if we can get some information on the dragons directly and see if we can take it up with them directly.
Let's say we try the city first since we're here, right? If it's a bus, then we'll just book it out of town and go, either back to my people or wherever else we can go to do some research.
How far is the next town from here?
I don't know.
You're talking,
one day to my people's town that we just came from, right?
Yeah, it depends
How
on
far are we
Haven.
from the blue region?
the blue region. Probably like a half a day.
We can always try to go to the blue place.
Was that where you came from?
I don't remember where I came from. I
Oh.
was brought up in a lab.
Okay. Well, I'd say we start with.
Shikar is encircled by all 5 of the provinces.
I'd say we start with people we know first, and then if we get pointed to one of the provinces from there, then we can go and hone our research.
Can't hurt to ask, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I'm thirsty, so I would love to have a drink.
So what's the plan?
I offer you water.
Sounds like cloaks and disguises and back to the Windy Chicken.
Offer you some milk.
Get this out of here.
All right, so cloaks, disguises, and
Yep, I
back
have-
to the Windy Chicken. Okay.
Yep.
I have my disguise kit that I am going to I can use on myself and these two. You've got your false identity that you
Okay.
can rely on.
turn me from like a greenish tree into like a reddish leaf tree or something.
You're in the fall of your prime.
Right. Good one. That's Ow! I just made another joke.
Turn her into a fungi. It's a fungal instead of a fungus.
Okay, so you're heading to the Windy Chicken. Is that
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Every time you
Do
say
I need
that,
to
all I
do
can think of
anything
is a
for the
chicken that's
disguise
farting.
kits? Make some kind of checks or anything?
Who was using disguise kits? Is it?
He was
I'm
using
I'm applying a
false
disguise
disguise
kit to
us.
Z and Arrows.
Okay, and Sarah.
I'm assuming my false identity.
Okay. All right. Does that involve any kind of check?
You've created a second identity that includes documentation, established acquaintances, and disguises. They'll allow you to assume that persona. Additionally, you can forge documents, including official. It doesn't say you have to check.
Okay. Is yours a check, John?
The disguise kit gives me
If the answer is no, that's fine. I was just curious if you have to make like a
cosmetics,
deception
hair
check.
dye, small props, lets you create disguises, change proficiency with this kit, lets you add your proficiency bonus to any ability checks you make to create a visual disguise.
Okay. Why don't you make some deception checks for the people that you are helping to disguise?
Okay, so I'm probably going to do this wrong because I don't know if using the disguise kit gives me double proficiency, but I've got proficiency and a half. I've got half proficiency already on deception, so I'm going to add my proficiency bonus on top of that.
Right.
And you know what?
Bring her.
I'm gonna let's see.
Use that daily inspiration.
I'm gonna hum a little tune to myself while I'm doing this, since I got the time. I'm so great at this. I'm good. I'm gonna bardic inspire myself. So, which gives me a d6 on that.
Singing along, making a song.
Side by side. Just him and himself.
Oh, John, missing the trick.
Got a good roll.
Let's see. 19 plus 4, 19, 20, 23, plus another 2, 25, plus another 4, 29.
Wow.
29. All right. Awesome.
Epic.
Sweet. Just
We don't even recognize Z anymore.
Thanks.
Erebus gives Andy a high five.
Yes.
Okay.
Who are you?
So you guys get to the Windy Chicken. You're hanging out inside of there, and
How windy is your chicken?
How loose is goose?
none of your mentors are there at first, but then Dargan does actually come in by himself.
Okay.
And basically goes over to the bar and orders a drink.
All right.
And doesn't recognize you because you're a
Does not
disguise.
recognize any of you. So how would you like to proceed?
I'll buy him a drink.
What's that?
The floor is yours.
Yeah, let's go get him a drink and invite him
All right.
over to sit with us somewhere quieter.
So you walk up to him and you're in
Yeah.
disguise, right?
Yep. So,
Okay.
He's like, who the heck are you? Get away from me.
Very obviously in my voice, but under my breath, how's it going?
Okay. He turns and kind of pauses for a second, and then there's like this look of recognition on his face.
Okay, it takes him a minute, but he gets
Oh,
there.
gee, yes.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to get
what's
around
with
this place these
He
days.
kind of whispers, "What's with the disguise?"
You do remember what happened the last time you hung out with us, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I had a
yeah.
little
Why don't we go talk
scuffle
somewhere?
with the town.
We're gonna go sit at that table over there, hang out.
Yes,
Just
yes, let's go
Yeah,
over there.
this totally different group
Yes.
of people that you've never met before. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he brings his drink over there. What can I do for you?
Well, in our adventurings, we've realized that we need to learn a little bit more about not just the Dragonborn Council, but dragons.
Okay.
And we thought that maybe you might know something more about dragons. We need to find one. Hopefully not fight with it, but we need to... I don't know.
Why do you need to find a dragon?
Well, I guess maybe we don't need a dragon. We need a drop of dragon blood.
We need some of their bodily fluids.
Oh, is that all?
Is that all? I mean, do you have it in your pocket? Because that would make it easy.
Just a drop.
No, but I can find out information if you need me to.
That would be very helpful, yes, because then that would give us a better idea of where we need to go and what we need to do and hopefully not die.
Are you targeting a specific dragon?
No, I don't think we need
Anyone would do. We just need to
Anyone
know
who says,
blood.
yeah, sure, you can help.
What do you know about the different provinces and maybe the niceness of the dragons that reside over them?
Off the top of my head, I would say that the blue dragon, much like the blue dragonborn council member Sokor, would be the one that would be the most willing to work with other species. But I can do some research to find out about that if you want.
Yeah, I mean, because other than occasionally seeing them flying in the sky from a distance, right, nobody really
Yeah.
knows how to find them. So that would be very
Well,
helpful. rather
I'm
than
sure the council
wandering.
members know how to find them.
Okay.
They have layers.
All right.
Do you know if the council members have regular contact with the dragons themselves, or are the council members kind of doing their own thing?
It is my belief that they do, but it is not something that they ever talk about. It is something that they hide, and they try to make sure that people don't really know that they can speak to them. And I would imagine that it would be somewhat challenging even for them. But I would be surprised if they did not have contact with them.
All right.
But if you can meet me back here tomorrow, I will gather some information
Sure.
and see what I can find.
We could do that. Do you think we'd be safe to stay at the inn as we are right now, or should we clear out of town and come back in?
I mean, it's always a risk, but your disguises are very good. You could probably stay here the night.
I'd like
You
to.
guys, I wouldn't mind
Do
hanging
you need
out.
any assistance in researching? I'm
I
rather skilled at research.
I think that what I'm going to do might involve a certain risk, and I would be better suited to do it by myself. But thank you, though.
Risk.
Well, I think it's
Aqua just muttering to themselves.
He's not the one who had the fight with the city guard. It was us. So I guess.
I mean, if he gets
Us.
in trouble, it's not connected to any of you per se.
Right. I'm pretty sure that the one who insulted the city guard and started the fight wasn't me, actually.
That's okay. It's
I was going to say it wasn't me either.
I'm pretty. If I recall,
For the listeners,
you
Sarah
thought
just
they
pointed
were-
at herself
you
and said,
thought
"Was
they
it
were
me?"
Stupid, right?
But they were.
That might have been true, but they didn't like it.
I did participate in the beating, though.
I mean, it was fun.
Yeah.
we'll
I don't
have
mind.
lessons on tact.
I'll
at some
take an
point.
excuse to beat people up. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so you have some more drinks, and Dargan leaves, and
All right.
you're going to get rooms for the night, right?
Might as well.
Okay.
I'm not going to be playing for my room and board today because obviously I don't wish to draw attention.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
I'd probably be remembered. In fact, I have a skill that says I would be remembered.
For what it's worth, Z is not like trying to arm wrestle everybody on the place, dance with them, hug
Yeah.
them, whatever. But she's actually very withdrawn as much as she can be. She's
Kind of
still-
like you this way, Z.
All right, so let's see. When you guys are resting overnight at the inn,
Well, one quick thing: do
Yeah.
we need to restock on anything while we are here and before we settle
I
in for the
mean,
night?
we might. Are we good on potions or anything else? Do we need them? I thought we already each had a healing potion on us. I don't know if we've ever had to use them.
I do not. Oh, I do. It's in my bag.
Yeah, I thought that was
Pretty
something
sure
we
we all
pick it
do.
up.
We all started the campaign with them, and we've been very fortunate that we haven't needed them.
Okay, so
I think.
Famous last words.
yeah,
Knock on
as the
wood.
DM pulls out
yeah.
the potion,
Yes, I
had to
have one.
use mine. I don't think
I have
I think
one.
I gave it to someone because I don't have
Okay,
one.
braces of defense. I have them
I
equipped.
think you have a total of 3, maybe. All right, am I right about
No,
that?
I got one.
I don't have one.
They are attuned. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna need a bottle eventually for whatever sample we're hoping to collect. I don't know if it's premature to get that.
I think I am without one as well.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Well,
Oh no, I still have one.
Okay, it's in my backpack.
Yeah.
I have
You
one.
do?
I had to move it. Yeah, I had to move it into my regular inventory. But yep.
Beacon out.
Okay, so we're good. So we
Beacon out.
only have at least one potion.
Liliana loves these.
A bottle may not be a bad idea to hang on to just as a general thing. Isn't there a kit, something that you can buy that includes things like bottles and like a potioner's kit?
I'm sure you could buy a bottle from any shop.
Okay.
A small
I was just thinking, might
container.
as well go for a whole alchemist kit if anybody.
Maybe we
actually
could
wanted to
ask
do
the
that.
barkeep if he's got something small for spirits that's empty that we could buy off him. We might.
Yeah. The barkeep can absolutely give you an
You
empty
mean
bottle.
like this? Aqua pulls out a bottle of booze and just chugs it down. We can use this.
There you go. All right. Problem solved.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about the fact that Z has like brewmasters.
Yeah, you have brewing supplies.
You
have,
pulled it off my belt, right? Because I wasn't even thinking of it.
you have brewing supplies.
I'll never tell.
Well, there you go.
Everything.
You have brewing supplies.
yeah,
You've
I've
got
had
freaking
it,
bottles. We can brew
Well,
up a dragon blood
I need
brew.
another
might
drink
be
to think more
interesting.
clearly.
Okay. So,
Aqua is not phased by alcohol. That's why they don't normally drink. So surprisingly doesn't look hiccupy at all, having downed an entire bottle of whatever.
Yeah.
so you've got the bottle covered. You've got your potions. Are you guys good to rest overnight?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
We're gonna try to
unless,
keep a watch?
unless I need to get a new disguise kit. But
Are we going to keep a watch,
I don't
guys?
rest, I trance.
We should probably keep watch.
Let's rotate through to make sure we're keeping an eye
Y'all going to
out,
be in the
just
same
'cause-
room and do watch? Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll volunteer for first.
So as you guys are resting at the inn, Aqua, what location does your current location remind you of? These are some of the campfire story prompts I got from slyflourish.com.
The inn?
Yes.
what other inns have you been to that have been?
Does it remind you of another tavern or inn that you've been to before?
This place is very foreign to me. I don't really understand the need for beds. But it reminds me of this one place I stayed with the scientists. They took me out to show me off to somebody once. Very strange watching them sleep in beds.
That's cool.
Well, I mean, maybe you don't find them particularly comfortable, but I find them very plush, very relaxing.
Are you good, Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. Kate, what loved one do you miss?
That's a question.
Let's do some collaborative world building here.
Right. I mean, I guess Z does feel some regret, and she shares with the group that, she didn't try to find her parents when we were at Spruce Haven. I mean, it's a lot of drama. They don't think very highly of the path that I've taken. They sent me away, but I still love them. So I guess maybe next time we go back, I should try to see if we can find them.
Try not
Okay.
to dodge them this time.
Yeah.
It's very curious, parents sending their children away.
Well, I don't fit in well with the rest of my people.
I'm
as
sure a
may
piece
have
of them, aren't you?
noticed.
I mean,
Technically, yeah. You
my
are a
child
piece of
was a piece of me,
Right.
in a literal
literally.
sense.
Speaking of what are we going to do with that baby lapis?
I'm taking care of it.
Okay.
She's watching. Let's see, Andy. And this is a fun one. Andy, what was the most morally questionable choice you made?
Taking up with us.
So many to choose from.
I was going to say, yeah, it's a bit of a choice.
Sketchy party friend.
I was out of character. I was actually just trying to look up my own backstory because I'm not really remembering it.
Oh boy.
It's been a bit since we played these characters.
Yeah. Well,
From what I remember, your dude met some crazy
Yeah.
fairy man in the forest and made a
Yeah.
pact.
Yeah, that does sound vaguely familiar. Yeah.
so Erebus says to Z,
Hold on, Greg. Let's finish
John's
what John's
question,
doing.
right?
Yeah.
And then we'll.
So, yeah. But Erebus wants to jump in. I actually, it's going to take too long to pull that up. Oh, let's see.
Just improvise something, John.
Yeah, John.
Smoke is
As we
coming
all
out of his
stare
ears.
at him.
Yeah, I know.
John.
John, get the adventure started, John. Help us something on the fly, John.
Move our story along, John.
Well, I mean, I don't think I need to get into the whole thing that was going on with the. See, I don't even remember my own patron's name anymore.
It's fine. I mean, these things are really for you guys in your head. It's not even something you need to necessarily discuss out loud.
Yeah.
These are things that your characters are thinking of while you're resting, while you're camping or resting at the inn.
Okay.
So maybe you're a little troubled by some morally questionable choice that you had made at some point in the past. Do you want me to move on to Greg and let you think about it?
Yeah, if you could, I need to review because I have a vague idea,
Okay.
but
Greg,
need to flesh it out.
what was your question you wanted to ask Kate?
I was just going to say to Z that we don't always have to be our parents' clone, so we should feel okay with following our own paths, as I did mine. So never regret any choices that you've made.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Usually I don't. Huh?
You're not a clone of your parents?
No, other beings having children seems like it's a little different than what you described about the lab.
So you're not just like a piece of bark
No.
that came off your mother or father?
No, no, because I mean, here's a joining. Do you really want details? I mean,
I can draw you a picture.
Probably find one or two nice ladies down in the
Oh, boy.
common room that could
Oh,
probably
boy.
teach her all about
Oh,
the
boy.
various things.
wow.
Whoa.
Them? Oh, so you're procreated.
Yes. I mean, trees are it's a little bit of a different process. There's still two involved, but it's
Maybe
longer.
that's why you like beds so much.
Greg, what villain do you remember? Your character. What you're thinking about a villain when you're resting.
Okay.
What villain do you remember?
So let's see here. So I'm probably talking to Z probably about this since.
If you want to say you're having a conversation, that's
Yeah.
perfectly okay.
And I say, I remember that I think I'll call her a witch because I really don't know a lot about her. But she's the reason why I'm the way I am now. And I guess I can't really think of her as a villain, otherwise I wouldn't be the person you see in front of you.
Right.
So I have to feel thankful at least that she gave me the strength to be the person I am now. But
You were a half elf before, right? Was
Yes.
that? Yeah.
And then she took all that responsibility away from me, and now I feel a lot freer than when I was alive at that point.
Was there a cost?
Yes, as you can see, my face and my eye were part of the cost I paid
I see.
to her. So I would probably think that she's not necessarily a villain, but someone who played an integral part of Erebus coming into being.
Sounds like it's complicated.
It is.
Kind of like my parents. It's
Yes.
complicated.
You speak
I
of
guess-
yourself in the third person. Were you not Erebus before?
No, I was someone different, and right now I can't even remember who that person was, since I've been this person for so long.
Very curious.
But I don't miss the memories of that person.
You look troubled, little one. What's on your mind?
Going back to Andy.
Yeah, I mean, just in the night, sometimes your mind wanders, and mine kind of went back to my earlier adventuring days, and I was much more naive than I am now, less wise.
You get more naive?
It may not look it, but I am very worldly wise now. It's it's all up in here.
I'm not one to contest worldwide wisdom. I spent most of my life in brick walls.
It was
And what happened to you?
Yeah. It was a lesson in learning to vet my patrons, I guess is a way to put it. When you're
Did you own a store?
No. No, I wasn't the one selling things. For all intents and purposes, I was the one for sale.
Services.
Yes.
Oh, like the ladies downstairs.
Not quite. not
Are you saying he was a John of the evening? Excuse me?
Andy of the evening.
Andy of the
Hey,
evening.
some of
yes.
my best friends around the city are mercs, right? Yeah, they're adventurers and fighters for hire, basically.
I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
don't mean to interrupt. I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah.
But it was an important lesson, I think, that we should probably keep in mind as well. When I was first starting out adventuring, I was, of course, very excited about my new role and my new job and stuff, and I was not very picky about some of the people that I would take jobs for. And there was one particular one where I was hired to retrieve a stolen ring from by a very nicely dressed gentleman. Said all I had to do was just talk to the brigands, supposedly, that had ransacked his house and had stolen a particularly sentimental ring, and the pay was very good. Well, to make a long story short, I did indeed succeed in recovering the ring from the brigands, only to find out later that the so-called brigands were, in fact, how to put it, a rival family, I guess you could say, in the local politics. And this particular ring was in fact a council signet ring. Yeah, so I got into a little bit of hot water on that one. Took me a bit to talk my way out of it. But I guess my point is that we shouldn't take things at their outside appearance.
I mean, are you still worried about Ophelia?
Ophelia.
Are you still worried about Barton?
I don't think that I trust their intentions up to this point, but we are going to be traveling in some in circles of power, and when you start doing that, things aren't always what they appear to be.
Right.
And we need to be on our guard.
Well,
That
all
sounds
I know-
like trouble for me.
All I know right now is that the power seems like it's hurting a lot of people who don't deserve it. So I don't disagree that things need to change.
Oh no! I'm
Yeah.
not. All I'm saying is that in our in our attempts to change, we should just be careful of the underlying currents that
Right.
of power, so that we don't make things
Nobody
worse.
wants to make change and then tear down the world and make it worse for everyone.
What you're saying
right?
is hot
Yeah.
water is uncomfortable enough without a current.
I think somebody's
speaking,
learning. I think
yes.
somebody's learning metaphor. That is impressive. Bravo.
I just laugh out loud.
Aqua goes and stands in the
I
corner,
love Aqua's like journey
unmoving.
of discovery, right? Humor.
Therapist does
I love
say
it.
to Andy, he says, I can understand what you're saying because I too have difficulty in trusting people. If it weren't for you, I don't think I would trust very many, all of you, that are in this situation that we find ourselves in.
I mean, we know from our research that nobody, at least as far as the books are concerned, nobody other than us and Ophelia has been marked by this prophecy or whatever it is, right? Like that's something special. I think we're lucky we've managed to find each other.
But I do find it interesting, though, that he did say that he found that necklace for her specifically and what he went through. So that's kind of a little concerning to me as to why.
You're concerned with
Parents
a parent protecting a
love their
child?
children.
Not that in particular. It's just he wouldn't elaborate about what he did. So
He
maybe
may not have had an option to do so, but
I'd like to know.
Heaven help
I
the
don't-
person who tried to hurt one of the children of the tree people. The root folk would go to war for things like that.
but I do understand what you're saying. We need to be careful of
Exactly.
of the undercurrents of power, because if nothing else, Ophelia is a power
Yes.
and has power, even if it's not political.
That's true. She does.
Thank you.
So you guys get up the next day and you meet with Dargan. This is something that you want to do, but otherwise you meet him again,
Okay,
sort of
sure.
in the early afternoon.
Have brunch.
Comes in
Am
there
I
and basically
able
waits.
to do any of my research over the night since I only have to trance
Yes.
for 4 hours?
Yes, you can. You can do some more research on that. And the thought occurs to Aqua to maybe enlist the aid of Ophelia in trying to figure out how to read
Okay.
the tablet. But you keep studying. You start to make some connections between certain symbols appearing repeatedly in certain places. You're starting to think you can maybe put together some of the rudimentary language.
Right.
But you're starting to wonder if something with Ophelia's visions could help fill in the gaps for you.
Because she took the rubbings of all the
Correct.
pages of the Colossi language.
Correct.
book, right?
That's
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, and you also have the tablet.
Yeah.
So yeah, yep. Dargan sits with you at a table
All right.
and says, and like he seems he's wearing a cloak, which he wasn't wearing before, and it seems to be a little bulky on him.
Have you put on weight?
Looks like you had some fun.
And he comes and joins you at a table, and he says, "Is there somewhere that we can go that is more private?"
Oh, we could go back up to the rooms. Or,
Yes,
I don't know.
that would be great.
Yeah. Some hotels have like private entertaining rooms too. So
Depending on how big it
if
is.
that exists, great. Otherwise, back to the hotel.
It's a Windy Chicken Inn. I'm thinking no private function rooms.
They might have a breezeway.
Oh no. Chris's butt is a breezeway.
The audience claps
So
in appreciation.
so you go back up to your room, and Dargan has basically like a bunch of papers under his cloak, and it doesn't look like he stole pages from anything, but much like what Aqua did, it looks like he had made a bunch of copies of stuff, and they're all sort of all over the place, and they're not really organized, and so he sits down, and basically asks you to give him a minute.
That's a
so
lot
he
of
kinda,
books.
So he kind of gather up his pages that
Oh
he
my
copied.
goodness.
Well, I could have helped with this.
Honestly, you probably would have jumped in and tried to
See,
do it.
looks like a deer in the headlights looking at that much literature.
So Dargan says, "So I have information on all 5 of the dragons. So what is again? What is it that you're looking for? Refresh my memory. You're trying to get a drop of dragon's blood.
We need a drop of blood for reasons.
From any of them.
And it doesn't matter who. Obviously, the thing that won't kill us, or is the least likely to kill us, is probably better.
But if we have to negotiate for it, knowing who the dragons are, what their relationship with each other are. That kind of thing
what
would
do
be
they
very
want?
helpful.
Could they be bribed for the sake of science?
Okay,
You know,
so he rattles off the names of the dragons, which, for the fun of it, and Kate will probably write it down. The white dragon is Tantalith.
White Cantalith?
Tantalith.
Tantalith.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
And the blue is Shimagor.
Okay.
Shimmy, shimmy.
All right.
Shimmy, go.
The black is Marzanon.
Okay.
The red is Rematrix.
Okay.
And the green is Garash.
Okay.
That's garish.
Okay.
And you know the regions, the provinces in which those dragons live. And he basically has information on how to find the layers of these dragons. And the green dragon lives in Green Province, obviously, and usually is in some sort of like a large, very, very large, like old tree with like a huge canopy that just exists on the top of this large tree, and usually they have sort of like a nest on the tops of these large trees.
All right.
And the black dragon resides in Black Province in the swamp, and usually there's some sort of like a cave or something in the swamp where they reside.
All right.
And let's see, the blue dragon lives in Blue Province, which is largely an area of landlocked ocean, and usually there's an island, and they usually have some sort of a cave system on an island in Blue Province somewhere.
Okay.
And let's see, the white is in the snowy White Province. It's usually up in a very snowy mountain cavern somewhere. Did I skip one?
Yeah, you
Red.
missed red.
Red.
Red is right in the middle of the city.
Volcano.
Yeah.
The red is high in the mountains, yeah, basically in a cave system, like high up in the mountains.
Okay.
And so he kind of describes to you, he says, these dragons are so old and so ancient that there are regional effects around their layers where things start to change based on the fact that the dragon lives there. It presents a variety of dangers depending on the environment that you are in. Something I think particularly is important based on what you are looking for is that there are creatures that exist near dragons' lairs that are referred to as dragon blood oozes. They are made of pure dragon's blood, and they exist, from what I can understand, in the general vicinity of a lair. Not necessarily in the lair, but in the vicinity, in the region around a dragon's lair.
That's interesting.
And these regions have certain hazards and effects based on the type of dragon that it is.
So which is the most or least deadly in your experience or understanding?
Or the one we can best prepare for.
I mean, obviously I'm decent in the trees, right? That's probably my best bet.
So
but I don't
he
know
starts
about
like
the rest
shuffling
of
through the
you.
papers. Much
Probably
like
not the fire
I
dragon,
don't like
seeing as how you're
swamps.
probably flammable.
I don't like fire. I'm not sure about swimming to an island. We've been in the snow before. If we bring the gear, we could be prepared for that.
Snow's
but that's
cold.
kind of
But it
a
sounds
very
like,
isolated place. At least if we go into Green Province, I know that my people's home is
Well,
in
it's-
striking
he
distance.
starts shuffling through the papers,
it.
much like I am doing right now, and talks about, let's see,
At least whichever one we pick, we want to try to outfit ourselves to be ready to deal with that specific challenge, right?
so some of the things that would typically affect like the region of a white dragon in White Province would be like chilly fog, freezing precipitation, icy walls. things of that nature, which would basically be very concentrated in the region right around the dragon's lair.
It'll probably be really cold.
So you're saying that the elements that are most intact with each region are likely to be connected to the dragon.
And amplified in those regions, yes. Like in with the blue dragon, it would be thunderstorms in the miles around the lair, dust devils, hidden sinkholes, things of that variety around the blue dragon's lair, and the regional effects for the black dragon would be. Pools of swamp water that can surge outward, and clouds swarming with insects and magical darkness would be regional effects of the black dragon.
That sounds like a drag.
More jokes. Jeez. You're getting good at this.
Was that a joke?
It was.
For the red dragon, small earthquakes, very hot water sources in the region, fissures in the region around their lair. For the green dragon, will be massive thickets, almost like labyrinths, like full of like sharp thorns, and rodents and birds in the area serve sort of almost like servants of the green dragon, gather information. These are the sorts of things that I found. This is probably not a complete record.
No, but it gives us an idea.
Yeah.
Of what
Gives
to
us an idea of what we want to try to deal with.
Yeah, so I'm thinking for any of these, we'll probably need a tank.
Tank.
A
See
tank.
if we can
tank.
find some of my gnome friends.
But my thought is this though. He did say that the creatures are made out of dragon blood, so maybe we do
Right.
not have to get
Right.
the
So
dragon.
the point is that we just have to find one of the oozes. The question is what province do we feel like taking an adventure in, and which thing is more or less risky for our group?
Well, let's see. Earthquake, probably. I'm tired of ice and cold.
The swamp does not sound.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe the
creepy.
trees.
I'd lean towards green out of all these, but I'm biased, right? I mean,
Bias being from there.
right?
Yeah.
I think the quicker we're out of Red Province, the better.
Where do we have safe haven? That's the question. Where could we go where if we get roughed up pretty bad, we can get somewhere safe in a day or two if we have to?
Well, loaded question, because we don't know. Since we don't know where the dragons are, we don't know what's near the dragons.
But does he know geographically?
He starts shuffling through his papers again, and he basically he believes that he can get you. He believes that he can give you directions to each of the layers,
Okay.
based on the fact that you will start to see the change in the regional effects.
Okay.
And I mean, he can't tell you a pinpointed location,
Okay.
but like, you know, if
Based on reports.
right,
Yeah.
right, it's like, oh, once you start to get to the area where like pools of water are scalding hot, you know you're close to the layer.
Right.
So he can basically give you directions to the regions in which the layers exist.
Okay. Yeah, we can. I will. I'm going to lean on my background. Z is a wanderer, which means that for all of her derp about everything else, she has an excellent memory for maps and geography, and she can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around her.
Okay.
And I can find food and fresh water for myself and up to 5 other people each day, as long as the land offers berries, game, water, and so forth. So that may be helpful for this, because at least if he can generally tell her where she's going, she can probably be reliable once we're out there. so
That
to
makes
speak.
sense. I mean,
Yeah.
if you know the lay of the land, it really helps to put down roots.
Haha.
Sorry. That's stressful.
Heavy sigh.
The Greg size. See, there's the trope right there.
All right. So So you're trying to decide basically on which region you want to go into?
Yeah, we're doing.
Okay, yeah, we're pretty much in agreement that red and white are out.
Okay. Mountains and snowy.
And black. So
And swamps. Mountains.
swamps. We don't like swamps.
If blue, we would have to get a boat. We'd have to brave the ocean or the water out to
Yeah,
an
I mean,
island.
there are ships that you
I
can...
float, but I don't know how good you guys are.
There are ships that you can book passage on. You have to, like,
I-
buy a boat or something.
Right.
I can talk about it.
And that also, I worry, again, if we need someplace to roost, then how far is it to get back to mainland or to any safe, village or haven?
We'll just climb
where
on
we
your
could
head and
rest?
you can grow taller.
That's
Aren't the two
To a
of you?
point.
Aren't the two of you?
So right now you're thinking of blue or green?
that's kind of where we're leaning.
I was going to say, aren't the two of
Yeah.
you from the green area?
Yes.
Yes, which is
Yeah.
kind of why I don't want to go to green. I mean, I've seen it.
I mean, I want to survive this. We can go adventure and see other places and sightsee after the government restructuring is complete.
Blue does sound peaceful.
I'll go anywhere.
Rumbling thunderstorms.
I'll have fun no matter what we
strangely
do.
comforting.
I am checking for the existent if I am available
They
to me a
remind me of
particular
rocks
spell.
running downhill.
Okay, so you're thinking about which province to go to, probably blue or green.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
I mean, other than having to deal with what sounds like a storm at sea, which I don't think is going to be all that big of a deal, really. I mean, blue's pretty much going to be a, sail in, find our little creature, do what we do best, and then
Right.
head home.
If you
It's a-
really think that, I think you're more naive than I ever thought.
Yeah, well, I've never been there, so I'm just
Adventure.
guessing.
I'm okay with seeing new places, but I want to know what monsters are in that sea before I have to
probably wouldn't
bash
be
them.
much, a kraken or two, maybe,
Oh,
or
only.
maybe.
Does Dargan have anything to say about this as we're debating between two colors?
Yeah.
No, I mean, you
Yeah.
talk about like sea monsters. I mean, there are ships that operate in Blue Province
Yeah.
all the time. People
I
make a
mean-
living, doing routes all throughout there. So it's not
If we
like
hire a
ships
good
getting attacked is a
guide.
major
Shipping
thing.
and
Yeah,
and
trade
fishing.
shipping.
And I mean, I guess the other
Fishing
question
stuff.
is,
Expensive. We hired
drag,
someone.
yeah.
Well, I think we could probably afford that.
Okay.
It's just a ship. What can it cost? 10 gold?
Well, we can go and research, and if we don't like it, I guess we can go to green anyway. So, I guess is that the plan?
I think we should go to green, but
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to going to blue only because you guys seem to have been from there, so you would know
To-
the lay of
to
the
your
land
end.
versus going somewhere none of us know anything about it.
Yeah,
Z asks
labyrinths just sound so droll.
Dargan, like, do you or let's see here, Talos or Glandring, does anybody have experience with blue as far as like names for a shipping company where we could book passage to the island?
Yes, I can give you the name of a shipping company that
That you
does-
trust?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well,
there you go.
We appreciate it. So I guess is everybody else on board with that?
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Let's go to the sea. Let's go to the ocean. I've never been to the ocean.
Well, I'm sure there's a city, depending on how long a journey it is, just to get to the harbor. There's going to be inns and hotels there. We can rest there and then.
He said
book
it
the
was
ship
a half a
and
day.
It was a half a day. Oh, okay.
I did.
All right. I did.
So you travel for. Are you leaving today? Or you're going to leave the next day?
I mean, you said we didn't meet until the afternoon, right?
Yeah.
Right. So
had
you would get there
drinks.
late tonight if you left now.
Sure. Hey, new inn, new drinks.
Yes.
Hey,
a new inn name,
if
too.
as long as we're arriving before the end of the day.
New drinks.
Yes. drink.
Okay. So you basically travel for half a day and you get to Blue Province. And let's see, where's my
Ooh, this is going to be fun.
Where's my
It's probably going to have chicken in there somewhere.
stuff? Probably.
Sea chicken.
The drowned chicken.
So so essentially Blue Province is an area of ocean that is mostly landlocked, and there are all kinds of islands in Blue Province. And basically, you get to the edge of Blue Province that is closest to Shikar. After a half a day's travel, it's late, and you're looking for an inn. And if I can remember, I've got the Roll and Play Game Master's Toolkit in front of me here. Let me look up where's the inns and taverns, town features. Taverns and inns was page 30.
John is rolling for something with his dice, too.
What kind of things do you have on your scrying stones, John?
I have NPCs that I can roll up with a rate, gives me a race job and a quirk. The weather for the day, the terrain we're going across.
Ooh, the weather.
Dungeon thieves and treasures, which are not currently useful. And that's what I can roll up. Basically, I can roll you up
having him
and
do the weather.
I can roll you up an NPC in the weather.
And here's Andy with your weather report.
Weather.
So our travel down towards Blue Province happens in sunny weather.
Yes. We like that.
Don't know why there's no clouds up in the sky. Sunny weather. Wait, what?
What? Huh?
Okay. So let's see. Come stay at the... These are D12s. Here you go.
Cross my fingers for chicken.
Come stay at the Sheep and...
Come stay at the sheep.
The Sheep and Ogre Inn.
Oh, that's different.
Okay, yeah. No,
It's a very different province.
Yeah.
You travel on a sunny day according to the scrying stones and go to the Sheep and Ogre Inn.
All right.
Do they sell parfaits here? Or only onions?
Wow.
Is it particularly stable-like, or...
It's a very stable inn.
Wow.
Just writing down Sheep and Ogre
It's a pretty stable and
Inn. Blue
totes me goats.
Province. Okay.
No
Is
sheep,
it a
not
village,
goats.
a hamlet, a town, or a city?
It is it's like a small, well, it's probably like a medium-sized town. I
The
would say.
port town.
Yeah, medium-sized port town. Yeah.
Wow.
And you have no trouble locating the ship, but let's see. Greg,
Yes.
give me the name of the port town.
Knew that was coming.
How about Pacific Rim?
Are we going to meet Mecca?
Well, I'd rather
We're
not.
going to meet a Mecca dragon.
Oh, wait, that's a proprietary thing.
Oh,
isn't it?
okay.
Yeah.
So let me I'm going to say...
Well,
Please
also
don't do us.
Pacific is a real life.
Yeah.
But also, you could sponsor us.
Okay. So let me rethink
What's the name of the ocean there? I don't know if it has one.
Hold on.
It's the Dragon Sea. Serpent Sea.
So we'll call it the Dragon's Rim? Wait, no.
Whoa.
It's on the edge of the Serpent Sea.
I'm writing down the Dragon Sea, Sarah, so we're going to use that for the name
Okay.
of the name of the area of the ocean that is within Blue Province.
Very on the nose.
How about Madeline Point?
Madeline Point. Okay.
It has some backstory of a tragic love story of a girl named Madeline
yes.
who
Right.
committed suicide off the high cliffs
She
over
was
the ocean.
drowned in one of these storms that
Oh, there we go.
unpredictably come up
Oh my god.
during...
Elf mage or something like
Yep.
that. Yeah.
I'm a storyteller. I will tell stories.
Riddle me this.
I'm gonna have to add some seaport music to my list here.
Sea shanty.
Okay. So you're staying at the Sheep and Ogre Inn in the town of Madeline Point, which borders the Dragon Sea.
Dragon
Okay.
Sea.
Cool. Awesome. I love this collaborative world building stuff.
Stuff.
Okay. So the The company that Dorgan mentioned, you have no trouble finding. And they have ships that can leave in the morning.
All right.
For some reason, I feel like this is like
Do we
an
know
ale
what-
shipping business.
They can leave in the morning. Do they know where we're trying to get to? Do they know where the dragon?
They basically
Dragon's
have
lair is?
like a bus route that they go, and it seems to be going by the island that you need to go to. Okay, so you basically book passage.
All right.
On the
How much?
ships.
How much that cost?
That won't cost. Actually, let me see if I have it on my DM sheet right here.
Nothing, because we entertain everybody while we're there.
Andy and
It's a sunny day,
Aqua.
so we use our disco
I could-
antics.
Aqua Sparkles.
I'll learn some sea shanties.
It doesn't have it on here, but if I compare this to the stay in an inn, we will say 5 silver a day.
And how long is the? How far out is this island?
You're going to have to make 2 stops.
2 stops. So that's 2 days.
Correct.
Okay, so that means a gold. 1 gold.
Correct. Yep. 1 gold.
1 gold for all 4 of us.
Yep.
So let me take that away.
Oh, you're going to pay?
I guess Erebus is paying.
I guess Erebus is paying. Thanks, Erebus.
I didn't say I was paying for you.
It was 1 gold for all of us, like
For the group.
Each.
for the whole group.
Each.
Oh, it's each.
Oh, okay. So that's easy.
Oh.
See, now he changes his story. You see that?
Now there's ogres.
And sheep.
So they're also like dropping off supplies and other things too, and
Yeah.
also taking on passengers.
Right.
So how do we get from the ship to the island we want to be on? Are they just going to drop
They're
us
gonna
off?
drop us off.
Yeah, they're just gonna drop you off. Yeah.
Okay.
You guys are making this way more complicated than he says it is.
So the first day goes by, and they basically stop at like a small island where they do like some trading, and they drop off like maybe like 1 or 2 passengers.
I chill on the beach and I, throw out the beach towel. Put up the
Yeah, I mean you can go buy like some souvenirs.
I go sit on the beach and blind all the sailors trying to come in. I'm like my own personal
I was
lighthouse.
just going to say, we have a portable lighthouse.
And then on the you basically stay there overnight, and then leave the next day. And I would like to have Sarah. I want you to tell me something interesting that happens on the travel between day 1 and day 2. Tell me something that happens when you're on the ocean.
So from the first port to the second port?
Correct. Yeah. Tell me something interesting that happens along the way.
Well, Erebus is out on deck. He happens to see what look like sea serpent fins.
What is it?
Sea serpent
Sea serpent.
fins, like
Gotcha,
crawling through the
gotcha.
water. Almost like you would see dolphins following a ship. But it's definitely not a dolphin.
Cool. I've never seen
They
this.
have a blue sheen to them, similar to your own scales.
Yeah. I mean, I'm spending most of my time on deck.
Sure.
As long as it's sunny too, so...
Sure. So you see this creature in the ocean. You're not quite sure what it is. It never really seems to come above the surface. But you see basically, unlike the number of fins, like the number of bumps it has like, coming up out of the water, that it looks like it's maybe like a couple 100 feet long.
Wow.
Cool.
Oh, jeez.
What do those taste like?
I.
One of the people on the deck of the ship was like, chicken.
Doesn't want to eat us.
Fishy chicken.
Sea
The chicken of the sea.
Salty chicken.
Sea serpent. The salty the chicken of the sea.
But I thought we were eating tuna.
So, okay, that's cool. I like that. So you arrive basically on this island, and there's like the smallest, tiniest little village that you've ever seen right on the edge here, where they drop off like the ship drops off like one small crate, and no passengers get off except for you.
That's not ominous at all.
And basically, it just looks like a tiny little fishing village that fishes on the edge of the island here. I mean, the people that are here look like they've probably lived here their entire lives.
Probably doesn't even have a name because I never needed one.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
even have an inn?
there's no sign. There's no inn.
Yeah.
There's no sign. There's just like huts, basically.
Oh boy. Wow.
But you are not regarded with suspicion or even awe. It's just, you know. I mean, you have a general bearing on
Sure.
on where the region is that you will find the lair of the blue
Right.
dragon.
From Dargan.
Yep, from Dargan,
So,
yep.
Are we still wearing
Alright.
disguises?
Probably not by this point.
I wouldn't think so, but it's up to you
Yeah.
guys.
oh, yeah, by this point. there's-
No, we're back to normal at this point.
Yeah.
Right. If we go back to
Nobody
close
out
to
here knows us
Shakar,
that we
then
know of.
that's- Yeah.
That we know
Spell
of.
was like-
Yeah, I mean, there's so few people here.
Is it getting towards the end of the day? Or?
It is getting towards the end of the day.
Okay, so
yeah.
we should probably set up camp somewhere close to the
Probably set up.
village.
Okay. All right.
And I'm going to join the village for their evening dinner and stuff.
I mean, well, there is like the villagers actually do have like a small sort of fire that seems to be like a place where they congregate
Yeah.
in the evening, and there's just like logs kind of around this fire pit
Sure.
where people can sit.
I figured
So-
something like that.
Yeah.
Z forages food, rustles up like small game or whatever she can from the edge of the woods on the outskirts. So we've got something we can cook that's a little nicer than just dry rations.
Yeah.
And
And I get
Yep.
to sit and I'll sit and swap stories with the villagers.
Okay.
That's if they want to, though.
Do they seem like they've seen a crystalline creature like me before?
They don't seem to regard you as being anything particularly out of the ordinary, which strikes you as being out of the ordinary. Because you would think that they would be like and point at you and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but they don't seem to react
Pretty
strongly
used to
to
being
you.
looked at.
Interesting.
Are you thinking that others of your kind have been sent out here perhaps to work with
Or they've seen
other beings?
stranger.
The sound of the
On the
ocean is
silent?
very familiar.
I don't know.
I mean, the people that you may have spoken to on the ship on the way over here have described basically taking passengers like you sometimes, not often, but sometimes, taking them to remote locations.
Interesting.
So it's not completely unheard of that these people might have seen someone like you.
Could be employ, could be experimentation.
Could be assassinations.
Right.
Dun dun dun.
Okay, so you basically stay overnight. They have this interesting beverage that it's not alcoholic. Has a slight tinge of fishy taste to it that they offer you when you're basically sitting around the fire. And
Thank you.
they're sort of like, they have instruments that are made that are kind of crude, like sticks and drums and flutes and things like that. And they just seem to be kind of like celebrating. And there's lots of like fish iconography all over the place, like carved into wood and things of that nature.
Pour booze in it.
Greg is spiking the punch.
Z is taking great pride in trying to cook all the stuff that she caught because even though she doesn't have to eat, she's passionate about cooking, and then she is she'll share.
Kind of like Kate.
She'll let the villagers try. I decided that this particular character was going to have that, yeah, and then she'll share whatever like latest brewing experiments she's had, like with the villagers if they want to try, just like they offered their.
We get them all drunk.
So, yeah.
Okay,
And the next morning, they've all been killed by a sea serpent.
Harsh reality.
and then the day after, they're all mysteriously back.
Chris is like, this is too much collaborative
Stop collaborating.
right
Stop.
now.
Stop, collaborate, and listen.
Oh, no.
Terrible.
I would give you props for that. That was pretty good.
I mean, you're white enough to say it.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Vanilla ice.
Wow.
Vanilla John is in the house.
Okay, so there's good food, there's good drink, there's good celebration around the fire.
Good times, good music, because I'm
Good times, good music.
Yeah, we're all singing and rousing,
Disco
and
ball over
clapping
here.
and toasting.
John, tell me something else sort of related to what I've described about this little culture on the edge of the island here. Give me some other interesting thing that your group notices about them.
Well, if we're talking kind of like
Fishing culture, small village.
fishing culture, small village, they have a passion for gambling.
Okay, they have like these little
Dice games.
wooden dice, but they have carved.
Nice.
and little and they just have little games of chance that they like to play. That's kind of
Okay,
their
so
pastime.
basically they do that, and they bet with basically drinks of alcohol for rolling dice
Could
and
see
playing
them like
Or
this.
having
chores
like
when
the
they-
hook and ring game, stuff
Yeah.
like that, like very nautical themed flavors of that too, like
Yeah.
games of chance.
They have
and- yeah.
cornhole, but not really
Yeah.
cornhole.
Wow, dude,
No, it's a beanbag toss. They call it cornhole here.
Here, yeah.
I gotcha.
That's only a New England thing. If you say cornhole to anybody outside this region, they're like, what?
Like, are you telling me you're doing something? What do you mean?
Okay, so the next day, you get up and
Get up, stand up. I'm already up. I never go to sleep.
you just trance.
Yeah.
I just stand in the corner unmoving and watch.
And
Hibernating.
meditate.
I'm conscious the whole time.
I set up a campfire behind her and I watch the lights dance on the water.
It's kind of cute, actually.
Hey, Andy.
She has no idea. They have no idea this is happening.
Well, that would be a fishing lure, essentially.
So the next day you wake up and there is a storm that is basically come into the area.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
I mean, it's not like blowing all the huts down and stuff like that. But there's a storm, there's rain, and it's in the early morning, and you have your map. So
Yeah.
are you setting off in that direction?
Right. Might as well, right?
Do any of you non-crystalline folk need gear to keep you dry?
And Z
That's
seems
true.
refreshed, and she stretches out her leafy branches to kind of shelter her other compatriots.
Shakes them all over everybody.
That's if you mouth off to me.
Probably should have picked up a raincoat.
I'm not afraid of a little water.
I mean, I've still got.
I'm waterproof.
Oh, Z,
I mean, I can probably
benefits.
dismantle some of my cold weather clothing to at least give me a little shelter. But
Yeah.
Okay. So you set out following.
please keep off.
Z
my
finds
pavilion.
like
Dragon's
some big
directions.
leaves on like a tree or something that she can stretch up and grab.
I don't know
She
why
knows some
Z would
big,
be able to
huge
find leaves.
that can shelter you.
Okay.
Just
Makeshift
ride on
umbrella.
Z.
Well, yeah.
Need
I
an
mean,
umbrella for you.
yeah. Z can be my umbrella.
Shelter under my hair.
Okay, so you travel for. You actually don't travel the entire day. You as it starts to get around like mid-afternoon, the storm turns into a little bit more of like a violent thunderstorm as you start to get into the region of where you believe that the Blue Dragon's lair resides.
I think we're going in the right direction.
Yes.
Looks fun.
Let me double check the blue regional effects here. Hold on just a second. That's black. Blue. Okay, here we go. So yes.
Mouthy birds in the woods,
You know, I've heard it's not really good to be in a tree during a thunderstorm.
Well, not the same as one who has roots.
So you know that, like, based on what Dargan told you, thunderstorms within the region of the lair tend to be somewhere probably less than 10 miles from where the lair is. So you know that you're getting close. You do actually see some sinkholes in the ground, and you see what looks like some remains of some
Poor travelers.
adventurers. You see like armor and weapons,
We loot the bodies.
things like that. I mean, some of the sinkholes look pretty treacherous, but if you want to try
Watch
to
your
get down into
step.
one,
No.
no.
If I can reach it with my long arms, that's one thing. If we'd have to climb, then
Okay.
I mean, Z's pretty confident about climbing. She worries about the rest of the group, though.
All right. So, eventually, you come to a place on the island in this storm where there's like a large cavern. There's like a small mountain, and there's this cavern in front of you, and it looks like it's been carved, but not by tools.
Oh, fire, perhaps, or
claw.
heat.
No, I
Or
mean,
weather.
it's not a stretch to understand the fact that this looks like it was done by an animal.
Okay.
And this is a very large cavern.
Okay, so by a very large animal.
It was
Alright.
clawed out,
Okay.
and it has other weird markings on it that you're not quite sure what it means. But basically,
Okay.
claws and some other means were used to basically carve out this cavern. But you're seeing this cavern from maybe you like come up over like a little rise, and you're seeing it from probably, I would say, about 100 feet away.
Aqua, do any of these marks look familiar to you?
From this distance, no.
Well, and in
Or
theory,
I wouldn't assume so, unless you want me to do a check for that.
What is the question?
I am asking Aqua if the marks look familiar because Andy wants to know if the so-called runes resemble any of the Colossus writing.
Runes? What?
The markings.
The
that you
markings.
just
He said
described.
some
Oh, no.
looks more deliberate in nature rather than just the scramblings of a creature digging. That's how I interpreted what you said.
No, I apologize for not making it more clear. The markings are not like symbols.
Okay.
It's
So
not
they're
like
just
symbols.
it's just like the clawing out.
Why
of
don't
something.
all of you make nature checks for me?
Okay.
Actually worked this time. Ooh, that's a good one.
That's not a good one.
It's not terrible.
that's not a good one.
Aqua, what'd you get?
16.
16. And Z, what'd you get?
6.
Okay, and Andy?
9.
Aren't you
And
supposed to be the
Erebus.
nature girl?
Right?
18.
That's no
Okay.
good if you roll a 5.
So Erebus, you are a blue dragonborn, right? Okay. You look at the way that this cave has been constructed, and it occurs to you that if your lightning breath that you have, if you could manifest on a massive scale, the markings in this cavern would be consistent with using lightning to basically carve through.
Oh, okay. So we're not talking claw marks. Okay.
I had a
No,
feeling
we are. We're talking a combination
claws
Got it.
and
Claws
lightning
and
breath.
lightning.
Okay.
to
Understand.
carve
So-
this cavern out.
This looks like it was
So it's not like it was
formed by
writing
dragon
on the walls.
breath.
So we don't want to mess with that.
Well, with any luck, we don't have to actually go inside.
My hope would be that one of the oozes is somewhere around.
No, you're still about 100 feet away, and
Yeah.
again, you find like some skeletons with some rusted armor. Like people have occasionally, apparently, tried to come here to either confront the dragon or look for loot of
Right.
some kind. And there are like pools of water everywhere, and it's dark and it's overcast and there's a storm above you, and there is a pool of water that's about 60 feet from you that suddenly seems to coalesce into some kind of like this weird ooze-looking creature, and it moves towards you, and it attacks.
Defensive positions.
And it appears to be very gelatinous. It's not actually water. As it gets closer, you can see it looks like blood. It looks like a creature made of blood.
Like blue blood or red blood or like.
It is totally a blue blood.
It looked like water, so it's probably blue blood.
That's cool.
That is.
So let's roll initiative while I put the combat music on.
Oh boy.
Oh, diving right into it. All
I
right.
wasn't sure at 4:44. I was like, are we gonna do this?
Ew.
That was terrible.
Must be confident in our abilities.
Yours is extra terrible.
This dice didn't want to roll for me. Which one do I want to roll?
Ugh.
Who wants to roll for me? Oh, that's right. I always roll a big one.
And Sarah is going to do our initiative.
Let's roll this one. It's kind of aqua-y for
Away.
right now.
No.
Ah, I'll take it.
Nice.
Erebus, what's your passive perception?
11.
11.
11.
I'm going last, guys. I rolled a 1.
Aqua, what's your initiative? I'm glad you asked, Aqua. That would be a 7, Aqua. Thank you, Aqua.
Ooh,
Z?
20.
Of course. Andy?
I'm glad you asked, Sarah. I got a 15.
I'm not Sarah, I'm Aqua.
Oh, Sarah's the one, right? I'm glad you asked, Aqua.
Erebus?
5.
5. At least 2 of us go before the enemy.
This is Z.
The smart ones.
Andy is on 15. Aqua is on 7. Erebus is on 5.
5.
All right. So our
Not
initiative,
rolling my
our
4
initiative
dice.
order is Z Root Folk Monk, Andy Bard Warlock, Dragonblood Ooze, Aqua Charming Rogue, and then Erebus Dragonborn Fighter. We're going to do Theater of the Mind for this one. No maps and minis.
All right.
This is one
Am I allowed to still ride on her shoulder?
I'm sure. If you want to.
So I move with her? No. No, that would be too much to choose. No, I'm kidding.
Yes, riding into battle like the Ents.
So Z, this. Whoops. I don't want to take that one. I mean, I do love it, but let's shuffle that up. So Z, our root folk monk, you've got this dragon blood ooze coming at you.
Okay.
It's about 30 feet away from you right now.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Let me ask you a very outside the box question. You
Sure.
said it's about 30 feet away?
Yeah.
So Z's stretchy.
Yep. She is
Would it be conceivable for her to pop a cork off of one of her empty bottles and to basically try to like swipe it out and like into/through the creature just to see like if it's liquidy enough that she can trap some in the bottle?
I mean, if you want to run up to it and get in face to base with it. Oh, and I'm sorry. You're saying because you're
I
root
thought you
folk.
only had a 15-foot reach.
She can run up 15 feet. I mean, her legs can stretch 30 and her arms can stretch, or her legs can stretch 15 and her arms can stretch 15. So we've used it before where she reached up 30 feet with that combined capability.
Okay, so you're gonna try to go like horizontally
Yeah.
and
Right.
try to
Yeah.
see if you can just hit it with the bottle and collect some.
I
Basically,
think
yeah.
she'd end up on her
Sweep an
face
open
myself.
bottle through it and see if some of it comes off into the bottle.
Why don't you make an attack with disadvantage? We'll say that as you stretch yourself out there, you have to use one arm on the ground
Okay.
when you're.
Almost called
to
that an
brace
improvised
yourself.
weapon.
I mean, if I
Right, to
move up
brace yourself.
15 feet, do I not have to make the? Can I do that?
Yeah, I would say if you
I'll
move- if you-
move
if
up
you
15
move up 15 feet,
and
then
try
you
to
can
just
just reach
sweep an
15
arm
feet.
through it. Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right,
That-
All right.
I would call that an improvised weapon myself. but-
make an attack with disadvantage.
okay, sure. 'Cause I know we're fighting with a bottle, so that's not.
yeah.
All right.
I mean, she usually fights with the bottle.
live
but
big.
not-
We're gonna
With a
go big or
bottle.
go home. So we're gonna use that inspiration to cancel that disadvantage.
Yeah, I agree with John. So usually improvised weapon is like a strength based attack usually.
Okay. Am I rolling a damage dice with this, or is this going to be?
No.
Okay.
No damage die.
All right. So I've used my inspiration to cancel the disadvantage. So I'm rolling a straight attack,
Okay, sure.
which
Yeah.
is just like an unarmed strike, pretty much usual. Right. What is that?
It's a 9 on the die, I think.
It's a niner. A niner plus. So that is a 14.
14.
Move
Yeah.
the snacks out of the way.
Okay, so you don't quite seem to get it. You misjudge the distance a little bit, and you don't actually make contact with the
Okay.
creature.
Here's a question: if she flurry of blows, does she just have to try to do her normal stuff, or can she try to sweep?
Well, can you read me the definition of flurry of blows exactly?
Sure, I'll do that. It's been a bit. It's been a hot minute. So
I'm mostly curious, like, do you get flurry of blows if you make an unarmed strike prior to that?
I think
I'm not quite sure how
She has
there's
something
criteria.
special that comes out of that from being drunken technique too. So flurry of blows.
Because my question is whether you can do that without using a monk weapon, with an improvised weapon.
Again, that's kind of what I'm
So
wondering too.
hardest flurry
This is
of
definitely a
blows.
weird corner case.
So
No one attacks the ball.
flurry of blows. Immediately after you take the attack action on your turn, you can spend 1 key point to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action. So they have to be unarmed.
So unless you want to try to get a handful of blood and stuff it in the ball.
I mean,
Probably.
right.
I mean, I would say you meet the qualifications for the attack action, but you get to basically attack it with 2
Okay.
more strikes if you want to attack it.
Yeah, I mean, sure, she'll do that. She'll try to lean into it with a couple more attacks.
Okay. You reach out your long root arms, and you miss with the bottle,
All right.
and then you try to attack with your other arm.
Get angry.
And give it a kick.
Right. What's
Pretty
my
much give it a kick.
arm strikes?
You made our tree angry.
are G4s. Of course, I didn't get my caltrops out. Let me find a caltrop.
So it's 15 feet from Z and 30 feet from the rest of the party.
Okay, sure. All right.
Remember how she fights.
It's going to be AC less, AC 13.
Miss.
All right, my dice do not fire that one.
Having a hard time lining up these attacks from 15 feet away.
Wow, AC even lower. She is not having a good day.
It kind of morphs its body and makes holes where you punch through it, kind of like Gleep.
I was going to
Tube of
say it's like
Annihilation.
Gleep.
You
So,
think you hear it.
This is what happened to Gleep.
all right. So then, because she has drunken technique, using flurry of blows gives her a disengage. So
Maybe you're on the
she's
island of
gonna
Cholt.
basically pull back and join in with the rest of the party, kind of in a protective
Okay.
stance with them.
15 feet forward, reach out with the bottle, miss,
Yeah,
attack,
yeah.
miss, move back to the party. Got
Sure.
it. Andy, Halfling, Bard, Warlock, you are up.
Okay, so what I am going to do first is I am going to activate my armor of Agathis,
Okay,
which is a part of my armor. I didn't cast
so you get this icy protection all over you.
just use 1 charge of it. Which, yeah, what does that do? That gives me...
Gives you 5 temporary. And if,
Yeah.
if you take damage, the creature takes 5 points of damage. I
Okay, yeah,
believe.
it doesn't affect my AC. That's what I wanted to
No, I don't think it
confirm.
does.
No, it doesn't.
It's just temporary hit points and does some damage if they hit you.
Okay, so I will add 5 temporary points to that. Very nice. For my bonus action, I am... See, I'm not really sure how this is supposed to visually look.
Just make it up, man.
But, yeah. Oh, I guess for now I'll just go with the good old classic. I play a quick rousing set of bars on my lute. I'm trying to keep it dry.
Okay.
And use Mantle of Inspiration.
Okie doke.
As a bonus action, spend 1 of your bardic inspirations to grant 5 temporary hit points to up to 3 creatures. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, you only get 5 temporary hit points.
Nice. Thank you.
That you can see and are within 60 feet of me. Each creature can immediately use its reaction to move up to its speed without provoking opportunity attack. So if you guys want to get in position now, you can.
Okay.
Up to its full speed.
Up to its full speed.
Does anybody want to move up to their speed right now?
It burns your reaction, but you can get right into position if you want to.
I think I'm gonna hold personally.
You're going to stay 30 feet away. Okay.
Yeah.
Arbus, what are you doing?
I think I'm gonna go up.
You're going to move right up to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
How many hit points was that?
5.
Would you like to move up to your speed, Sarah?
Yeah.
Aqua? You're going to move up to the creature?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. All right.
That's her.
Cool. That's awesome. Okay. It is the Dragon Blood Ooze. Okay. So let's see. What kind of attacks does this very interesting blob have? Okay. It can do that. Oh, yeah. That sounds pretty good. What is this thing?
To review for myself, we get inspiration back on a long rest at the start of each session, right? And then if we roll a 1, am I remembering that right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
Okay, so since it's got 2 of you right next to it, it's going to make 2 pseudopod attacks. these globs of
Chris
dragon's
really is
blood.
playing Gleep again.
These globs of dragon's blood come out and attack. Let's see here. The first one's going to be at Erebus, our Dragonborn fighter. So pseudopod attack number 1 on Erebus. Here we go. Ooh, AC 10.
That will miss.
Let's see. And then the second attack is on Aqua. Ooh. AC 15.
That'll miss.
Ooh. All right. So that's,
Thank you, Boots of Evolving Speed.
Evolving Boots of Speed from the DM. Okay, so that is going to be the Dragon Blood Ooze's turn. Then we're on to Aqua, our Sharding Rogue.
Okay, slashy.
Slashy, slashy. Go for it.
Because I don't think color spray is going to have much effect.
Probably not.
Alrighty. Who wants to play?
Who wants to play?
Who wants to play? Alright, so I'm going to make a swipe with my Rapia for AC 22.
That definitely hits.
I forgot to roll my damage dice, I'm so sorry.
No worries.
For 7 slashing damage.
7 slashing. Okay, it's weird fighting this, like, concentration of blood.
Yeah.
But you do believe that you have damaged it.
Okay. And then
Was that with your rapier?
with my Rapia, yes.
You're going to make another attack with one of your shard daggers?
Thinking about it. Yeah, I think I will do a follow-up attack with a shard dagger.
Okay.
So I bend my arm, my wrist down, similar
Yep.
to Spider-Man, and a dagger
Yeah.
comes right out.
Nice. Cool.
Dagger's already 4.
Offhand attack.
AC more,
Okay. That
24?
hits. 24, yeah.
but it's only for 1 piercing because I don't get the extra damage.
Yes, I understand. All right. So slash, you do some damage to it. Is that turn?
Slash poke, yes.
Slash poke. Erebus, Dragonborn fighter. You're also up on it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He's all up on that thing.
All right, so I'm going to try an attack with my short sword.
Short sword. All right.
Okay. And that's going to be... Is that 14 to hit?
14 to hit misses.
Oh.
It's squeaky.
What have we hit on?
It changes its shape, and then you move into the area.
We've missed on 14s twice now.
Yeah, Kate hit 14 a couple of times and missed. All right, so Greg, you just made an attack.
Yes.
What else is happening on your turn?
I will attack with my offhand.
Okay.
So let's try that one.
The dice cheated. Rolled to 13 and then just boop over to 5.
Blame the tablecloth.
11.
11. You miss. You miss. Is that turn?
Yep, unfortunately.
All right. We are back up to the top of round 2 with Z, our root folk monk.
All right. Let's
You,
see
I think,
here.
we're 30 feet away.
So Z is going to step in closer again, and for now she's going to fall back on her. She's so derpy, I think she'd still try this, even though I suspect that's not going to work. She's going to try to grapple it. She's going to come in closer to 15 feet and
Well, you
stretch
don't.
out some arms.
Well, this is how you learn things, by trying
And
them.
she's going to try to grapple it.
Okay, go for
Her
it.
attack action. So that is a challenged athletics versus its athletics or acrobatics.
Right.
All right, so then, which dice doesn't win
Oh.
all? As they chose these. There's a question.
So you're 15 feet away and you're reaching
Yeah,
15 feet with your root folk arms?
indeed.
Okay.
All right. All right. So that's a 15. So that is a 24.
24. You try to grab a hold of it and it just moves out of the way.
Okay. Wow. So it either won the check or did I get the sense that it was just like it's liquid and I slipped through it.
No, on that particular go,
Oh man.
on that particular go, you tried to reach for it and it just
So it rolled really
moved out of the way.
shocked. Okay. All right. Well, let's go back to.
Z's first instinct when she sees something liquidy and gelatinous is to try and grab it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll have to remember that.
She's pretty literal. Yeah. So, all right, we're going to do another flurry of blows.
Okay.
All right. So
So you took the attack action, but you used it to grapple.
Yep.
Right, okay.
So that because they're special type of attacks.
Yeah,
grapples and
yeah,
shoves.
I
So
gotcha.
then she's going to unarmed strike.
Unarmed strike.
Again. So at least that dice was rolling better. All right.
You're on deck, Andy.
That'll be at AC 21 to hit.
21 does hit.
Okay, that's going to be 2, so 5. 5 bludgeoning.
5 bludgeoning.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll do it again. And that's going to be... What is that? Is that the critical? It is the critical.
Ah,
Sweet. Pa-da-da-da-da. All right. So then double what's on the dice. So 4 plus 3 is 7.
So make the new one.
7 bludgeoning.
7 bludgeoning.
Yeah. And she's going to stay at 15 feet. Yeah, just kind of like backing up the rest of the party.
Okie doke.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Andy, Halfling Bard Warlock.
Andy is going to. Yeah. Is that a. Yeah,
Strings of
that's
Fury.
Yes.
Actually, that is what Andy's going to do. Strings of Fury. And a whole bunch of sparkling lights all just appear around
The Dragon Blood Ooze?
The Dragon Blood Ooze in a 20-foot cube, and it must make a. Let's see. It makes a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw. And what is the effect
The effect is fairy fire.
potentially going to be? Gotcha. Okay.
That'd be nice.
Yes. Get it song.
I got a 2.
Fail.
Wow. All right.
It is now outlined in a
That changes the game.
luminous green glow. That
Starts
makes
to glow.
Attacks have advantage.
so attacks
have
against it
advantage?
now have advantage.
All right.
And for my Bonai action, who's up next? Aqua's attacks are next. So Aqua, you may have a bardic inspiration.
Nice.
I suddenly feel inspired.
Okay. Is that turn, Andy?
You see? Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So the creature lets out this spray of gelatinous material,
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
and it just sprays out. It doesn't get Aqua, but it's going to get the 3 of you. It like sprays out in this cone. This dragon blood goop just goes all over the place in this big spray.
Hey, blood.
I need you to all make dexterity saving throws except for Aqua.
Oh, boy.
Z just takes the bottle and goes, whoop.
Alrighty.
I got a +1 on it, so I don't think I'll use my inspiration on it. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to use my inspiration on it because why not? Oh, it's okay.
That's not great.
All right, see what you get.
Was that a yeah?
I got
No, it's a F.
a 12.
You got a 12.
Yep.
Okay. Andy, what'd you get?
21.
21. And Erebus, what'd you get?
14.
14. Okay. So, Z, the Root Folk Monk, this blood comes out and hits you and burns you for 22 acid,
Oh, no.
and it pulls you right up next to the ooze.
Oh, that's not good.
For
That's
Andy,
bad.
our Halfling Bard Warlock, and Erebus, our Dragonborn Fighter, you take 11 acid.
Ouch.
And you feel this liquid trying to pull you back, but it slips off of you and doesn't get a hold of the two of you.
Oh no.
Oh, wow.
That was
He
an ouchie.
is looking rough.
And that is the Dragon
Better
Blood.
than normal.
Not drunk, rough.
You said not drunk, bro.
She's got.
That I
Some-
assume that bloodied your character?
Oh yes.
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 Less than half your max hit points. Okay.
Yeah.
Almost one shot the character.
So, Aqua, Sharding Grove, you see this acidic blood pull Z in. She's very badly burned.
Does Z now have blood on her? Like the not her blood, but like the ooze's blood?
Well, the three of you have blood on you.
Okay, so we all have blood.
I don't know if it's collectible. If it has to be collectible.
Is it collectible? That would be.
Worry about that later.
Yeah.
Let's for right now. Let's try to survive.
Try to survive right now. You take 20 points of damage. Aqua, Sharding Rogue. What are you doing?
Shaking my head at my compatriots over there. Jeez, guys. I have advantage.
Just in
because
case,
of the
run
very
away.
fire.
Yes,
Comes-
correct.
That's why I'm asking the question.
So rapier's out.
Thank you for reminding me. I have to make a
Concentration
check on that. 12. I'm good.
Are you done?
Yep.
All right. So 11 plus 6 is 17.
17 does hit.
For 7 plus 4 is 11. 11 piercing.
11.
11 piercing. Okay.
If I can concentrate it to try to sever the tie off of Z, I would.
So this is weird to say, but the dragon blood ooze is bloodied.
It looks like it's having less cohesion than it had before. I get what you're saying.
It's having a hard time holding its shape.
It's leaking.
Another attack, Aqua?
Yes. Do I still get advantage?
Yes.
All attacks.
Okay.
Yep. You
As
do.
long as I have concentration.
I'll take it. Ew. Ew. That's gonna be AC 12,
Miss.
which sucks because it was max damage on the D4.
It morphs out of the way.
Grr.
Is that a turn, Aqua?
That would be turn, yeah.
All right. Erebus, Dragonborn Fighter.
All right, so
You're up, buddy.
we have one attack first.
One attack first.
That's good. So 24 to hit.
That does hit.
And that is going to be for 7.
7. All right. He definitely takes the damage.
One more attack.
Stab with a short sword.
Ugh. All right, so it's going to be 10 to hit.
10 misses. It moves out of the way.
You did land a hit, though.
I am going to use my action, sir.
Nice.
Can you use your
Fighters
action
for the
surge?
win.
Okay.
All right.
Action splurge.
And that gets me 2 more attacks.
That gives you another
Attack action. I
attack
believe.
action. Yes.
If you can make 2 attacks with your attack action, then yes.
All right. Go again. All right, so that is going to be 15 to hit.
15 does hit.
That's our target. That's what I figured.
Easy Chaka!
And that one is going to be for 8.
8. Okay. Now there's blood like all over the place. It's on you guys. It's all over the ground. There's just blood everywhere.
All right, my last attack.
Do you have 2 attacks?
We only
per
need a
attack, or do you
drop.
have an offhand attack.
I have an offhand attack.
Okay, because it uses your bonus action, you only get 1.
Okay, so then
That is
that's
true.
it.
Yep.
Nice job, sir.
All right, but that's
All right.
that's a hell of a lot of damage. Nicely done.
All right. Top of round 3. Z, our rootfolk monk, who is bloodied, and the dragon blood ooze is bloodied.
All right. Well, she's
Losing on her.
So collect some of that blood.
all right. She's gonna swing out her.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. And you are
Grapple?
grappled.
Okay. So my movement is 0, but I can still hit normally. All right. Whereas restrained would.
No, wait, I'm sorry. Nope. It doesn't say grappled. It just says it pulls up adjacent.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're not grappled.
I'd be surprised if liquid could keep something grappled. That would be some. Given I.
Oh,
yeah.
it's sentient liquid.
Yeah.
It's a little more oozy than liquidy.
Yeah.
You gotta watch
I
for
feel
that
like
delta
it's
T.
like Jello.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of
Okay.
like Jello.
Well, she gets annoyed
Similar to a
and
gelatinous cube.
sweeps her quarterstaff off her back and just tries to like club right through it with the quarterstaff. So, well, bam.
Kind of like day 2 flu congestion.
Oh man, I do have
Gross.
advantage. Thank you. That's good because that would poop.
Good job, sir.
Advantage check.
I'm dating Kate.
Player tracker.
I am retired.
Well, then take it
Okay,
down.
that's
And then
better.
fire missiles.
So then, let's see here. Attack. That was the damage die. So the quarterstaff is going to be AC 16 to hit.
That hits.
That is going to hit if I can get off of the screen. If I can get off.
Quarterstaff knocks some of this
the
goop
screen.
off of its form.
So that is going to hit. Oh, and I'm using 2 hands, so I'm being a derp. I should have rolled a d8. D6. Haha. That's standards. All right. So 10 bludgeoning.
10 bludgeon.
Yeah.
All right. Knock a big chunk of goop off of it.
She said, I like hugs, but not that kind. And then, let's see here. She is going to bonus action. She's going to use her Blessing of Vigor and heal for a quarter of her max hit points.
One of my
Which,
favorite tracks.
that is 7 points healing from Blessing of Vigor. Bonus action.
Cool.
And then I'm base to base with it, so I probably can't run away. That's alright. Okay, she's no longer bloody. Alright, so
Is that turn?
that's me.
Andy, halfling,
She bopped it.
bard, warlock.
Bop.
Okay.
Splooch, splooch.
Okay. So the thing's almost dead.
Squelch.
Squelch, squelch. What's up, Andy?
Andy's
I feel
thinking
moist.
it's almost dead, and we still need to collect pure blood, which may be difficult to get if it's dead. So he is going to play a lullaby
Sleep?
and cast sleep.
Kind of save?
No save. It's just that die.
It's hit point based?
Yep.
Okay.
So 5d8. So as long as I can roll more than the amount of
More
hit
than what
points
he
it
has
has
right
left.
now. 'Cause he's
Gotcha.
been pretty beat up. Mm-hmm. Aw, sleepy little slime.
What happens when a slime falls asleep? Does it just...
Kind of, it just kind of puddles.
It's kind of a puddle.
If it's this doesn't work if it's immune to being charmed. That'll resolve.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Oh, one.
Got one. 7, 14, 15, 16. If it has 22 hit points or less, then it falls asleep.
Condition immunities, charmed.
Okay. So we go.
You tried.
I figured there was a possibility. That's why I
Just like I
mentioned it.
didn't know if it was immune to grappled or prone, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You don't
yeah.
know until you try it.
I like you thinking outside the box, Sean.
Okay. So, well,
No, now you know.
Now you
you know.
Especially when you take yourself out of a fight casting Tsunami.
That was a long
We
time
did
ago.
a semi-boss fight.
Yeah, but we're
for
never gonna let you live it
10
down.
rounds without
I
your
wasn't
character.
even there, and I'm never gonna let you live it down.
I just didn't have to worry about John's character on his turn. I'm like, all right.
9 rounds
dire
of
straits.
having
He's
to
not
fight
healing,
with
he's not turning, he's
forfeits
not...
of the party, and then he lost concentration on the final round.
Is that your turn, Andy?
That was a leveled spell, so I can't cast a bonus action leveled spell, which is unfortunate. So
You do your dice, right?
let's see. Okay, then I am, since Z is nearly down, and I am going to give her a bardic inspiration because you can use that on saving throws.
Okay.
All right, and that is
And that's
what
my
there's
last bardic
their-
inspiration.
That's a D6 or a D8 to add up.
It's a 6.
Number 6.
Okay.
It says it right on the back.
Is that turn, Andy?
That is turn.
That's
Oh, yeah, that's
fancy.
The
Fancy
M&Ms.
schmancy. All right, there's my D6 sitting there waiting for me to use it.
All right, so it is the
Tonka.
Dragonblood Ooze's turn.
Ruh-roh.
Does not recharge the slime breath.
Thank
Good. Because, ouch!
It will pseudopod at Z.
All right.
Oh, cocked. Too bad it was on a 20. 5 is not as very good.
Yes.
AC 12.
5
Miss.
is right out.
All right, and then who else is next to it? The two of you are.
All of us.
Everybody but me.
Everybody but him.
All right, Hilo. Hello, I'm Greg. Pseudopod attack.
Hi.
Ugh. AC 9.
Miss.
Cannot hit with this creature. Unless it's slime breath. That is the end of the Dragonblood Ooze's turn. Aqua Shardling Rogue.
Alrighty. It's still glowing, right?
It is glowing.
Alright, so I'm gonna do advantage, and I am actually gonna add my bardic inspiration.
Cool.
Actually, can I make the choice to add that after?
You can add it after, but before knowing the results.
Okay.
Well, because you get it back more frequently, so you had to say
No,
it.
Bardic
Bardic
Inspiration.
Inspiration.
Oh, Bardic. Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
Okay. Let me roll first.
Yes.
Okay, I don't need it on this. So 19
That is.
for 11.
11.
11. Slashing.
Slashing.
Rapier damage.
Target, by the way.
Okay, it seems to sort of
I attempt to rape it.
splash into a whole bunch of pieces on the ground, and well, not pieces, but it splashes into a bunch of little puddles.
Oh,
Nice.
And
all right.
it's gone. It's dead.
And
She's like, well, we need this quickly. And she scoops up some in a bottle.
Okay, scoop up some in a bottle.
Alrighty.
And let's do some stars and wishes.
Okay.
Darn it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I was hitting well. Jeez.
I'm glad your dice were rolling well, because mine were very up and down.
I changed to the blue ones. The blue ones are better. Blue for dragon.
I was hoping you were going to use lightning on it, Greg, because it's immune to lightning.
I thought so. Considering
yes.
blue lightning slash
Was it
acid.
immune to grapple
It's
and
immune to being
shoved?
grappled.
Okay, I had a feeling, but
It's a
Z
good
would
thing
try
I
it.
used the
'cause she's her
lightning.
group, so yeah.
Nugget.
And now Andy knows that there are weird
If
things
you
like
didn't
that.
notice, blue dragons are lightning dragons.
Yes.
That's why the
Dragons
storms
are
show up
typically
closer
immune
to its
to
lair.
everything.
Yes.
But that's a
Yeah,
meta Sarah
so it
moment.
Makes sense for the effects to
Meta
convey to the
Greg
blood.
moment is my defenses are resistance to lightning, so.
You were
Okay.
just the same.
Yes.
So, Greg, do you have any stars and wishes? Stars are things you like. Wishes are things you'd like to see.
Stars, I liked our conversation that we had with the guided stories again. I thought
With
that,
the
the prompts that you
campfire
gave.
prompts, yep.
I thought that gave us a good chance to kind of do some role-playing storytelling about our characters a little bit more. So that I enjoyed.
Cool.
I don't really think I have any wishes aside of my dice not working the way I want them to. But,
Poor Greg. We really do have to, uncurse your dice.
Yes.
I'll bring the sage next time.
just a little bit.
Just puff the smoke
Yes.
in that
John,
direction.
do you have any stars and wishes, John?
Well, I'm back to be. I'm glad I'm back in Andy's skin. So
Yeah, cool.
It's because Andy's
As opposed to
fun.
Ricky?
Yeah, they're both fun in different ways, but Andy's a little bit more.
He's like, I was so tired of being a
Ricky was
kobold.
stuck
I
with
was-
such a messed up party.
Yes. Such dark territory. I enjoyed playing him.
That was. But as for the session, I don't know. But nothing specific comes to mind. So
That's fine.
I'm good.
All right. Kate, do you have any stars and wishes?
Let's see, stars. I got a second. I really enjoyed kind of the more freeform roleplay that we've been doing with the dice and the questions and stuff that you've been asking.
Sure.
In these adventures, I think it's a refreshing change from sometimes we have things that are very formulaic, and the adventures basically set up as you do this and this happens and here's your fight, go, right? And I like that too, but this is fun and different, so that's awesome.
Yeah, the story prompts are really
and
cool.
the role play and the backstory that's coming out because of that.
Yep. Yep.
And then I think wishes. Jeez, wishes that I mean. I suspect we're only going to have one more session, but I hope we have more than one to enjoy these characters a little bit more. And then, what was the other? I had another wish, and I forgot it. wishes that I hopefully paint all the minis before next adventure so we can enjoy them before we're done here.
Well, like I said, we're going to be hanging. The characters aren't going anywhere, and we may revisit them.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely.
Yes.
Sarah, do you have any stars and/or wishes?
No. Stars, I very much enjoy watching you play her mentor and talking through your teeth like an 80s melodrama supervillain. Reminds me of Blair from
my chin out.
Pretty in Pink. Yeah. Andy.
Ronald Weasley. Leviosa.
Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Changing your mouth posture is a good way to
Change a voice.
accent voices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It very much like brought me to Pretty in Pink for a minute there, and I was like, holy, that's why I laughed so hard. And of course the role play between all of us, I always enjoy that because I love collaborative storytelling.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
we
fun.
collaborate too much, but you know. Wishes, I almost wish that it was harder to get that blood, but I know the team doesn't.
No, I'm with you. I mean, letting it go to like 2 or even 3 adventures, I can would have been okay, but I can totally understand why we didn't.
Yes.
So.
And I wish we were going to explore more of the Dragon's Cave, but that's just because my character wants to know.
Yes, but my
Wanna
character doesn't
die.
want to die.
Are you good?
Yeah.
I remembered my other wish, which is that
Yes.
hoping that we get the early access to the D&D 2024 when you do. But I know there's no control over that may or probably won't happen with D&D Beyond. But
My stars and/or wishes are I still love the story prompts, just like everybody else. It's a great way to bring the backstories in because we don't have enough time to do that through adventure after adventure and a shorter campaign, which is what this campaign was designed to be. I do understand what you're saying about, if we had taken 2 or 3 adventures to get the blood, that would have been kind of cool. But as I've told everyone around the table here, I'm trying to work it out so that I can take DMing off of my plate because being a stay-at-home dad with a baby and a toddler and an actor and a martial artist and all these other things, it's very, very challenging. So I couldn't really have these adventures go out for too much longer because I'm trying to wrap it up.
Which is why he's turning over to the person who otherwise has no life. So.
That was not my
love you,
thinking, John.
I didn't know I was taking over.
But yeah, I mean, if I had a wish, I'd probably say that, I would have liked to have drawn this out into maybe a couple of adventures if I felt like I had the time. But I'm just trying to reduce the overwhelm of being the stay-at-home dad and all that stuff that I just said. So it was a little bit more abbreviated. And I thought this creature was really cool.
It was.
Very.
I mean, it does a ton of damage. Although I kept not hitting you guys with the pseudopods, but it does a ridiculous amount of damage. But it's also relatively crunchy. So I'm like, my hope was that it would beat you guys down pretty well, but the fight would be over pretty quickly. Whereas I got you guys once with the slime breath. And then every other attack missed, so I was kind of like, oh, man.
And but your dice said no.
Yeah, I kind of wish that I hit with some of the pseudopod attacks because you took a bunch of damage and then you were grappled.
Yeah.
And until the grapple ends, you take more acid damage every turn. It was a really nasty creature that my dice were just like...
did it have the ability to suck people into it like oozes and slime sometimes?
No,
do,
it's
or-
the target is grappled, escape, DC 15. Until the grapple ends, the target takes 2d6 acid damage at the start of each of its turns.
So basically the combo is that
Ouchie.
the slime breath or whatever it was would just draw everybody in, then it would start grappling.
Then it starts
people.
pseudopoding
Beat you
you.
up,
Pseudopod.
Yeah, I mean,
Brutal.
it really is a much more nasty creature than it turned out to
Yeah.
be because my dice just kept missing with
It
the
could have
attacks.
pwned us pretty hard
Yeah.
because Z is fairly tanky, and that took 2/3 of her hit points in
Yeah.
one swipe, right? So that kind of thing could easily take down 2 or 3 party members at once if the timing was
Yeah, I
bad,
could have bloodied all 3 of you in just that one
Well,
thing.
in late fight, it could knock 3 party members
Yeah, absolutely.
unconscious. Yeah.
Yeah, it had a recharge, and I wasn't able to recharge it.
Yeah.
I didn't roll the proper recharge number.
That's what we call swing.
But yeah,
Darn.
Yes, that is very swingy.
it is very
At
sweet.
the very least, though, it seems like we will get a chance possibly to revisit these characters later on at a time.
Yeah, I mean, once this campaign is over, which is going to be, 1 or 2 more adventures before we're done.
Yeah.
And And then I would be perfectly willing to run more adventures
Yeah,
in the
kinda
future
like-
with these characters because they're very cool. And you guys have revealed so much about your backstories with the story prompts, which was the intent. And we could maybe run with those ideas in the future,
Open them up more.
or skip ahead and you could narrate what sort of things happen in your background. We'll just have to take that
Hand off and like run one shots for the group,
in the
basically.
future.
in that
Yeah, I mean,
world.
we could do
Yeah.
one shots too. You know, I mean, I still want to revisit Spacefarers at some point.
Yeah, I have ideas for a one shot for a space or a mini arc for Spacefarers too.
Yeah, I mean, we have,
Oh
we have
no,
a
I
lot
don't know
of.
if people want Janie back.
We definitely have a lot of options for revisiting campaigns that I have run with those same characters, including this one. So we'll see how that goes. That was a lot of fun. Let's say goodnight to the listeners. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave us a review anywhere this podcast can be found. Our social media links, plus additional content, can be found on our website at knightsofroleplay.com. Please tell your friends about Knights of Roleplay, an adventuring podcast, and spread the word through social media. Your help and support are greatly appreciated.